is the Business of Reselling podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Oman. Hey everyone, it's Jess, and it's time for episode 45 of the Business of Reselling podcast. This is going to be a short one. It's kind of a just the tip episode. I had actually planned an episode talking about our time in Ottawa to celebrate the Entrepreneur of the Year Awards, which, if you don't know, we won Entrepreneur of the Year from eBay Canada. And there's a whole podcast episode about it that I did a couple weeks ago. That's episode 44. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the show notes as well. And so we got flown to Ottawa for a celebration with the other winners. And I wanted to do an episode about how that went. However, it did not go as I expected it to. And that's really all I can say right now. I'm not exactly sure what the whole outcome of the situation there is going to be, but I'll have to leave you hanging for at least another episode. But I will tell you all about it very, very soon. I think you'll be really interested in the story. So that's coming. And so in place of that episode, I'm just doing a sort of fast, just the tip episode, which is one I've had on my list of short episodes that I wanted to do for a while. And that is to try a public coupon. This is on eBay. I'm only talking about eBay today. Try a public coupon. So if you're not sure what public coupons are in the context of all the different marketing tools that eBay provides, the public coupon is like a little banner that would appear in a red font kind of at the top of your listing. And it would say, save 20% or 10% or whatever parameters you want it to have. And then it'll have like enter the code, blah, blah, blah at checkout, and you get to create the code. So it's in red. So it's pretty visible. And it shows up on the listing. And then the buyer just has to go, like buy it now or add that item to their cart. And then they can copy and paste the coupon code and get the discount that you're offering. So I haven't used public coupons a lot, but there are some particular, they have their place and they can be really effective for a couple of reasons that I'm going to go over today. For one, if you don't want to be running markdown sales all the time, a public coupon is a great alternative. So quite a lot of the time, I will put almost all of my store on a markdown sale. And that could be anywhere from 10% up to 40%, just depending on the purpose of my sale. If it's to clear out old inventory, then I'm going to do a markdown sale with a really big discount. If I'm sort of leading up to an event like Black Friday, I might have smaller discounts that get bigger as we get closer to Black Friday weekend. So anyway, I will always have some categories on sale, and sometimes I'll have just about the entire store on sale, except for gold. I never discount gold. So that's great, but you don't necessarily want to have this markdown sale on your entire store all the time. It can signal desperation. It can signal that you are deliberately overpricing your items just to mark them down and make it look like you're offering a discount. So sometimes they can turn off a buyer in a certain way, if that makes any sense. And the other thing about running a markdown sale, if you have best offer enabled on your listings, is that you might mark down something by 30%, and then a buyer is doing a best offer to try and get an even bigger discount. And sometimes that can be frustrating because if you already have your items at 30 or 40% off and they want another 30 or 40% off your 30 for 40% off price, like that can just be really frustrating and the negotiations aren't necessarily fun. So in between markdown sales, you might want to try a public coupon. Now, you would think that if you had best offer enabled on your listings and a buyer came along and wanted a better price, that they would just click that best offer button and make their offer. But there are actually several psychological reasons why buyers may not do this. And they range from anxiety about making the first move on the negotiation to being afraid of offending the seller to even worrying that their offer might be higher than the seller was willing to accept. And they might be afraid of leaving room on the table for further negotiations. And they don't want to walk away feeling like they didn't get the best possible price. Now, some people love that process and just thrive on it. and other people hate it. They see it as a form of conflict, which it is kind of. Negotiation is this sort of form of conflict where there's, one person wants a certain outcome and the other person wants a different outcome usually, and then they have to find some sort of compromise in the middle. That's a type of conflict. And negotiation can have very positive connotations, but some people just want to avoid conflict at any cost, so they won't even try to start a price negotiation. So a public coupon, which is going to appear on every listing and anyone who browses your listings can find it, it takes that anxiety away and it signals to the buyer, hey, this is the price that the seller is willing to take, and this is the discount the seller is willing to offer. Take it or leave it. It's very simple, right? It's cut and dry. And then the buyer can just decide, okay, well, I already know. Obviously, the seller is willing to take 20% off. So, I'm not going to try to get more than that. I'm just going to enter the coupon. And it's a very sort of passive way of getting a better price on something. Now, if you have best offer set up, however, buyers need to know, and they often don't, that they won't be able to combine a best offer with your public coupon. So if you have an item listed for $100 and you have a public coupon offering 20% off, the buyer will not be able to make a best offer of $80 and then get the public coupon on top of that for an additional $16 off. They will not be able to combine those discounts. And this might upset them. And this actually happened to us a few weeks ago. I had quite a lot of the store on sale, but not everything. And I ran a public coupon to celebrate our Entrepreneur of the Year award. And, it's like, whatever, we're celebrating with you, get a discount all week long. And I had 2 or 3 buyers who tried to combine their best offer with the public coupon. And then they were very upset with me that it didn't work, even though it is in the terms and conditions if they were to click and look at them. And then they said, well, this is ridiculous. Like, this price is too high and I'm not going to buy it. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So it's just something to be aware of if you have best offer enabled on your listings and you offer the public coupon, that buyers won't necessarily know that they can't combine those things. And they might be a little bit bummed out when it doesn't work. And you might have to explain that to them. So for those reasons, I recommend trying a public coupon in between your markdown sales so you don't have to offer markdowns all the time. And it's really easy to do. Now, you can't do it on .ca. I don't think anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. I barely ever list on eBay.ca, but I don't think you can do coupons there yet. But on .com, if you're listing on .com, just go to Seller Hub, then click on Marketing, then Discounts, then Create Promotion and choose Coupon from the drop-down menu. And from there, you can choose a coupon code, which can be anything you want as long as it's not already in use by somebody else. You can choose whether to make that coupon public or private. So private coupons are a different thing that you might send to your newsletter subscribers or page followers or something. But you can choose to make it public, and then you can set different parameters to the coupon, like the maximum times one buyer can use it or the maximum discount that they can get. You can also include just certain categories from your store or exclude certain listings if you want to do that. So it has quite a bit of flexibility. And of course, it allows you to schedule an end date for as long as you want that coupon to run. So they're really easy to set up and kind of fun. So I would recommend that if you don't want to do a markdown sale right now, but you are willing to offer some sort of discount to those buyers who may be a little bit shy about reaching out and asking for a better price. Give that public coupon a try and let me know the results. So your call to action for this week is to try a public coupon on at least some of the listings in your store. I would recommend running it for, at least 5 days, maybe a little bit longer, long enough that you can kind of get a sense of whether or not it's working, but not so long that the buyers think you're just going to continue to offer it forever. And when you make a sale, eBay will tell you in your awaiting shipment page whether the buyer used that coupon or not. So you will be able to keep track of its uses. And you can also look at that in the marketing tab as well. So give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully the next episode, I will be able to tell you all about Ottawa and it'll be a juicy one. So make sure you come back. That's it. If you are listening on a podcatcher, don't forget to come over to youtube.com/@Storage Warrior podcast, and you can see a little bit more content there, some extra videos and things like that. And you might get to see my face, which I occasionally will show. So anyway, subscribe to the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts, pod.link/business of reselling. And don't forget, we are always buying. Hook us up with a great pick in the Pacific Northwest or British Columbia, and you will receive a gift. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you very soon.